Hey guys, I'm Alfred Posh Spot and welcome to week 19 of the Premier League review. If you want to know this series, what we do is we take a look at the past 10 Premier League results, we take a look at the Premier League table, and we finish off by looking at the Premier League top goal scorers. So here is the past 10 Premier League results. These games were played on Friday the 22nd and Saturday the 23rd of December 2017. Also next games are the times in this video, so if you want to hear about a specific match, it's got the time next to the match, it's got about all the other crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first match. We start with Arsenal versus Liverpool. Liverpool took the lead in the 26th minute when Felipe Coutinho put the visitors ahead. James Milner started the move off when he whipped a lovely pass down the wing that sent Mo Salah away. His cross is half blocked, but it loops up, and surprisingly it's Coutinho who wins the header, and he flicked the ball over Petr Cech and into the net. And Liverpool doubled their lead 5 minutes in the second half when Mo Salah carried in his great goal-scoring season. It was a wonderful attack, but quite poor defending from Arsenal as Liverpool won the ball back on the edge of their own box, and they break with Mo Salah carrying it down the line before giving it to Roberto Firmino. Firmino spins away and plays a lovely ball back into the path of Salah, and the Egyptian takes a shot that took a little deflection, and that helped it into the bottom corner. And here is when the game went absolutely mental, as less than a minute later Arsenal got a lifeline when Alexis Sanchez reduced the deficit to 1. Joe Gomez makes perhaps one of his only mistakes of the season as Hector Bellerin whipped in across as Gomez just does not attack it, and that allowed Sanchez to nip in front of him as he headed the ball through the legs of Simon Mignolet. And 3 minutes later Arsenal level the game up when Mignolet forgets how to be a goalkeeper because he's a f***ing little cunt. Granit Xhaka had a poor game, but all he does is have the ball 25 yards out, take a shot that was f***ing sh**. It's right in the middle of the goal, head height. Mignolet, instead of getting both hands behind it, get it out, he for some reason tried to tip it over the bar with one hand, and for some reason his hands are made of jelly as the ball comes off of his hand and nestles into the corner. And 2 minutes later Arsenal took the lead for the first time in this match through Mesut Ozil. Ozil actually started the move as he played a 1-2 with Alexandre Lacazette. Lacazette backheeled it into the path of the German, and Ozil dinks it over Mignolet and at the back of the net. But Liverpool equalised in the 70th minute when Roberto Firmino made it 3-3. Another goalkeeping mistake as Emre Can found Roberto Firmino in a ton of space, and his shot is full of power. Cech gets 2 hands behind it, but he doesn't do enough as all he can do is push the ball up and it goes into the opposite corner. And that is how the game ended. What a crazy game of football. Liverpool really should have won this one as they had a lot of chances. From what I saw, I didn't watch this game live, but from what I did see, they had a lot of chances in the first half, and obviously that disastrous 5-minute spell in the second half. But if Mignolet knew how to do his job, that second goal would have never have gone in. A great game for a neutral, but as a not neutral, this game was hell for me. I couldn't watch this one live, like I said, I was at work, so I was just praying every time my phone vibrated it was a Liverpool goal. And I remember that 5 minute when my phone just kept on vibrating with Liverpool going 2 up, and then within the blink of an eye we were somehow 3-2 down. Liverpool bottled it in the end, but then again so did Arsenal a little bit. It's basically the same story for both teams. Great attacks, average midfielders, quite piss poor defence. And we move on to West Ham versus Newcastle. It was an awful start for Newcastle as 6 minutes into the match they gifted West Ham the lead. Henry Save for some reason just gave the ball to Marko Arnautovic, and the Austrian charged forward. The rest of the Newcastle defence just back off him, and they allowed Arnautovic to get close enough as he slotted the ball in at the near post. But 5 minutes later Newcastle leveled the game up through Henry Save. He made up for his earlier mistake with a brilliant goal that came from a free kick about 25 yards out, and it looked like Save said something to another Newcastle player, so I presume he demanded that he takes it. And what a decision. He hit the free kick and it was a clean finish just inside the post. And Newcastle took the lead 10 minutes into the second half when Mohamed Diame gave the Toon the lead. Christian Atsu looked a little bit offside, but he latched onto a ball over the top before passing it low into the area, and on the end of it was Diame who smashed it into the roof of the net. But West Ham got the perfect chance to grab an equaliser when they were given a penalty. Mikel Antonio was brought down right on the edge of the area. Was it inside? Was it out? I don't have a Scooby, but the ref pointed to the spot nonetheless. Andre Ayew stepped up, but his penalty is quite poor as it was a nice height for Rob Elliott, who dived to his left and pushed the ball away to keep it out. And West Ham would be left ruining that penalty miss when Newcastle made it 3-1 thanks to Christian Atsu. It was a quick counter from the Magpies as Hosselu squared the ball to Christian Atsu, who fired home first time from inside the box. But West Ham would make the last 20 minutes interesting when they made it 3-2 when Andre Ayew sort of made up for his penalty miss. Former Newcastle striker Andy Carroll played a key role in this goal as his header was saved, but the ball fell loose to Andre Ayew, who poked the rebound home. And that's how the game ended. Newcastle grabbed their first win in 10 games in a very entertaining match. This win did allow them to jump out the relegation zone after they slipped into it when they only picked up 1 point from a possible 27. And as for West Ham, it's the first real slip up under David Moyes, as if that West Ham penalty went in, perhaps it would have ended differently, but it wasn't to be as they lost for the first time in 4 games. And we move on to Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Manchester City finally broke the Bournemouth defence in the 27th minute when Sergio Aguero got his 100th goal at the Etihad. Bournemouth tried to play out from the back and Fabian Delph stole possession and gave it to Fernandinho. Fernandinho sees Sergio Aguero ghosting into the box and the Brazilian pings the ball over the top, and Aguero does the rest as he headers into the back of the net. And Man City doubled their lead in the 52nd minute when Raheem Sterling got his 12th of the season. It all came from an absolutely gorgeous flick from Sergio Aguero, and I mean it. Be sure to watch this one. A deliciously weighted little flick from Aguero leaves Sterling 1-on-1 with the keeper, and the winger fired home. And Man City made it 3 in the 80th minute when Aguero got his second of the match. A simple goal as Bernardo Silva played across into the box from the right hand side. Aguero got on the end of it and headed home for close range for City's 100th Premier League goal in 2017. And Man City wrapped the game up in the 84th minute when substitute Danilo got his first goal for Man City. Raheem Sterling laid off the Brazilian, Danilo fired the ball low and hard into the bottom corner. And that's how the game ended, another win for City, making it 17 Premier League wins in a row now. Bournemouth did frustrate Man City for the first 30 minutes of the game, but one mistake at the back allowed City to take the lead, and the rest is history. Bournemouth are without a win in their last 7, and they have slipped into the bottom 3. And we move on to Stoke versus West Brom. Stoke took the lead in the 20th minute when the Welsh chavvy Joe Allen gave the Potters the lead. It came after the Welsh midfielder was teed up by Peter Crouch, and Joe Allen calmly slotted the ball home. And Stoke doubled the lead on the brink of half-time when Eric Choupo-Moting made it 2-0. Gareth Barry was dispossessed in the middle and Stoke won the break, and it ended with Choupo-Moting rounding Ben Foster and slotting it into the net. But West Brom will look to get back into it when Solomon Rondon reduced the deficit to 1. Chris Bunt played a lovely ball over the top and it landed perfectly to Rondon, who finished under Jack Butland. But Stoke would put the game to bed with the last kick of the game when Ramadan Sobhi got his first Premier League goal. Choupo-Moting broke forward and outpaced the West Brom defence. He had a chance to take a shot, but instead he laid it off to Sobhi and the Egyptian finished past Ben Foster. And that's how the game ended. Stoke took a little bit of pressure off of Mark Hughes to make his Christmas a little less stressful. Stoke looked to be comfortable when Joe Allen gave them the lead, but when Rondon got that goal, Stoke fans were living on the edge. West Brom did waste chances in the dying moments, so Stoke were able to escape several scares and pick up a vital 3 points. And we move on to Burnley versus Tottenham. Tottenham were given the perfect start to the game when they were awarded a penalty in the 6th minute when Kevin Long was deemed to have fouled Dele Alli in the box. It looked extremely soft, but the ref pointed to the spot nonetheless. Harry Kane stepped up to take it as he took the ball away to make it 1-0. And Tottenham doubled their lead in the 69th minute when Harry Kane got his and Spurs' second of the match. It was deserved as Burnley were just so open in the second half, and Tottenham finally took advantage when Moussa Sissoko played a ball over the top and Kane latched onto it. The striker kept his cool, picked his spot and put the ball home. And Tottenham got their third 10 minutes later when Harry Kane completed his hat-trick. He won the ball back when he tackled Stephen Defoe on that start of the counter-attack. Christian Eriksen gave it to Dele Alli. Ali found the on-running Kane, who sprinted past the defender and hit the ball back across the keeper and into the back of the net. And that's how the game ended. Harry Kane has equalled a 22-year-old record when he levelled the record of most Premier League goals in a calendar year, as his hat-trick were his 34th, 35th and 36th goal of 2017. And 22 years ago, one of the best strikers in the Premier League history also bagged his 36th goal of the year. That man obviously being Alan Shearer. Harry Kane has one more game to break the record when Tottenham go to Southampton on Boxing Day, and more than likely he's going to do it. But Tottenham were the better side on this day and they thoroughly deserved the 3 points. And we move on to Leicester versus Manchester United. Leicester took the lead in the 26th minute, and when I say it was a typical Leicester goal, I bloody mean it. A long ball over the top from 60 yards away from Wilfred Ndidi to Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez holds the play well, waiting for Jamie Vardy to run past him. The Algerian lays it off, and the striker hits first time into the bottom corner. But Man United levelled the game up 15 minutes later when Juan Mata got the goal. It was a good team goal, this one, as Paul Pogba gives it to his fellow Frenchman Anthony Martial. Martial plays it to Lingard in the box. He has his back towards goal, so he gives it to Juan Mata, and the Spaniard rolls the ball into the back of the net. And Man United took the lead in the 60th minute when Juan Mata got his and United's second. Another good goal for the Spaniard, as it was a free kick that Mata steps up to take. Questionable goalkeeping from Kasper Schmeichel, as the free kick is quite poor, as it was in the middle of the goal and it flies past him. Not quite sure what he was doing. He's got to be saving those. His dad will be having words. And things will go from bad to worse for Leicester, as 15 minutes later they were reduced to 10 men when Daniel Amati was sent off. He was only on the field for 20 minutes? He was already on a yellow, so when he completely barges Marcus Rashford off of the ball, the ref pulled out the second yellow and then the red. And it looked like United were going to pick up the win, but with the last kick of the game, Leicester levelled the game up through Harry Maguire. Mark Albrighton sends a cross into the box and the United defenders just failed to deal with it. De Gea doesn't come out for it, Chris Smalling turns into a statue, and in weaves Harry Maguire to slot the ball home. And that is how the game ended. A big result at the top of the table, as United dropping points just allows their City rivals to extend their point lead even more. United had a load of chances to wrap the game up, like they could have been 3 or 4 ahead at one point, but they couldn't take them, and Leicester were able to nick a point at the death. And we went to Southampton versus Huddersfield. Southampton really started to turn the pressure on after 20 minutes, and they got what they deserved in the 25th minute when Charlie Austin gave the Saints the lead. Southampton won a corner as Wesley Hood headed the ball down to the far post. Charlie Austin was lurking around there as he stooped down to head the ball home. But Huddersfield equalised the game up 20 minutes in the second half when Laurent Dupois got the goal. Huddersfield's substitute immediately pays off, as seconds after coming onto the pitch, Tommy Smith plays across into the box from the right, and on the end of it was Dupois, who bagged his 3rd goal in as many games. And as the game ended, Huddersfield come from behind to bag a point against the Southampton side that haven't been in the best of forms recently. Southampton could have won it in stoppage time when Maya Yoshida hit the post, but it wasn't to be, as both teams come away from St Mary's with a point. And we went to Swansea versus Crystal Palace. It was a pretty boring first half, but 50 minutes in the second half, Crystal Palace got a perfect chance to take the lead when they were given a penalty. Ruben Loftus-Cheek goes down inside the box, and the ref pointing to the spot, up stepped Luka Milivojevic, and he slammed the penalty home. But Swansea levelled the game up in the 77th minute when Jordan Ayew got the equaliser. Ayew was on the pitch for a couple of minutes, and he swiftly makes an impact as he twists and turns on the edge of the box before planting an effort into the back of the net. And that's how the game ended. No last minute drama, but a very important point for Swansea, who still find themselves at the foot of the table and without a manager following them sacking Paul Clement midweek. Palace looked quite comfortable for the majority of the game, and they continue their revival under Roy Hodgson, and although their streak is still intact, they will be disappointed they weren't able to pick up a 5th win under Roy. And we went to Brighton versus Watford. It was a pretty boring game, but something finally happened in the 64th minute when Pascal Gross gave Brighton the lead. The move started with Tom Cleverley as he gave the ball away and Brighton go on the break. It landed to Gross on the edge of the box, and his effort, despite Aurelio Gomez getting a hand to it, can't keep it out, and it goes at the back of the net. And that's how the game ended, as Pascal Gross's winner gave Brighton their first win in 8 league games. They pretty much dominated the game, with most of their attacks coming through the left winger Solly March, who looks like Brighton's shining star this season, him and Pascal Gross. Brighton did deserve the win, but their fans will be a little disappointed they couldn't do it more comfortably. And finally, we've got Everton versus Chelsea. This one was proper boring. Everton parking the bus, not interested. They had 0 shots on target in the entire game, with them having 5 shots in total. But let's not go easy on Chelsea here. They couldn't find the net despite them having 25 shots, but only 8 of those being on target. Both teams were poor, with Chelsea in the finishing department and Everton in the footballing department, and both teams came away with a point. So that's all the games I've got for you this week. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers, starting off with the Premier League table. Starting with the top 5, and as you can see, Manchester City are still top after they dispatched Bournemouth. Manchester United are second and slipping farther and farther away after they drew with Leicester. Chelsea are third after their ball draw with Everton. Liverpool are fourth following their entertaining draw with Arsenal, and Tottenham make up the top 5 after they beat Burnley. Moving on to the bottom 5, and Swansea are at the bottom after their draw with Crystal Palace. West Brom 19th after they were beat by Stoke. Bournemouth make up the relegation zone following their loss to league leaders Man City. West Ham are 17th after they lost to Newcastle, and Crystal Palace make up the bottom 5 following their draw to Swansea. Moving on to top goal scorers, and as you can see, Mo Salah now has company at the top, as Harry Kane's hat-trick against Burnley hopped him up to 15 goals, but Salah is on top with 15 goals and 3 assists, whereas Kane is second with just the 1 assist. Manchester City teammates Sergio Aguero and Raheem Sterling are joint third, both on 12 goals and 4 assists, and making up the top 5 is Romelu Lukaku on 10 goals and 4 assists. Right, so that's all I've got for you this time. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll be back on Friday for the next episode of the Premier League review. Yeah, one on Friday because there were games on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll cover all of them on Friday, but this is obviously the last time I'll talk to you until after Christmas. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I don't really know what to say now. Merry Christmas. Don't eat too much. Fuck it, eat as much as you want, I don't give a shit. If you want to follow us on Twitter to stay up to date when we go live or upload a video, you can. The link is in the description, or it's at portionofsport_. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, the links to both of those are in the description as well, or my channel should be popping onto your screen round about now. But anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Merry Christmas. I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I will see you soon.